another episode of Crazy Delicious Cooking. Today we have a special guest star, our very first guest star, Tracy Fox, my mom.
Hi everybody! It's a lazy day here in North Carolina, a little bit chilly, so today we're going to make some pho soup. So, we'd like you to join us.
Alright, let's get started.
Alright, first thing we have to do is we must cut chicken and trim off the fat and get it into the oven because it needs to cook for a little while for those who want chicken in their pho soup. Some of us are going to have shrimp and others may want vegetarian.
Or you can use those balls that we saw at the Asian market yesterday.
Correct.
We didn't buy any of those.
So I have my kitchen shears and I'm basically just trimming the tenders. I'm pretty fussy. I don't like to see any tendons or fat. But you can trim it however you want. And then I have a foil lined pan to put it in. And so we're going to get those in. If we need a little bit of broth out of the refrigerator, if you could just grab some broth.
Okay. Oh, I'm the assistant today.
There's already a container of vegetable broth. I like to pour a little broth over the chicken as it's baking in the oven. And we just do a little bit of that over the top just to give it a little bit more moisture. You can do it with chicken broth, you can do it with vegetable broth, whatever you want to do. We just pour a little bit of broth over just to cook them in.
Interesting.
You can add a little salt and pepper.
I never did that before.
A little salt
I never
and pepper.
did that. Oh. A little bit.
A little bit.
Wrapping them all the way.
And then we will cover them with foil. And into the oven they'll go. Excuse me, not the fridge.
God.
We don't want to cool them. We want to cook them. Into the oven they go.
For how long?
For about 30 minutes.
So yesterday we went shopping at the Asian market here in Raleigh. And we found some rice noodles. These are gluten-free. So pho, okay, it's pho, is from
the Vietnamese culture.
Okay. And we made this together how many years ago?
3 years ago.
Okay.
And it was delicious.
It was so delicious. Like, it's way better, I feel like, than some of the stuff you can get in the restaurants. So we have our rice noodles here. These were Asian best. And we got them for what? $1.79.
Correct.
So super cheap. We're going to start working on these first.
They also come in thinner noodles if you like thinner noodles. We just happen to get the larger, wider noodles.
Right. Oh, we got the large. They have medium, extra large, whatever you prefer. So according to the directions, we needed to soak these in lukewarm water for 30 minutes.
Now we're making it for 4 people today, so we're going to make significant package of the noodles. Like, we're going to cook them all up. We're going to just add a little bit more water, and we're going to set these over to the side and forget about them for now while we prep our vegetables and our shrimp, because there are some that want shrimp in their soup.
All right, what's next? Vegetables.
The chicken's in, and now we're going to start working on the vegetables and actually taking the shrimp tails off. We did buy a package of frozen, already cooked shrimp. We're just going to heat them through, so we don't need to have raw shrimp, but you can certainly cook raw shrimp if you really want to. But we do remove the tails.
So we have mushrooms, our bok choy,
we have the garlic, we have the scallions, we have fresh ginger, we have some spinach that we'll throw in at the end, we have bean sprouts, and we have lime, which we garnish at the end with a little Sriracha sauce.
So you can do a lot of different combinations for pho soup. I mean, people put jalapeno,
whatever you like,
basil, whatever you like.
So today we're using vegetable broth, but that's only because I happen to be vegetarian and I don't have the chicken, put the chicken broth on.
All right. Well, I'm going to cut the bok choy. We're going to cook the bok choy.
Okay, well the first thing we need to do is we need to get the broth heating up. Okay. Because we want that nice and hot because that's the base of our soup. We're just going to pour in some vegetable broth. We're going to put that on the stove.
Right here?
We can move some things off and then we can put it in that one in the back burner. And then we can move that one over because we're going to need to saute our vegetables.
All right. Okay.
So we have some fresh ginger, and to peel fresh ginger you want to use your spoon and just kind of scrape the rind off, the outside coating off. rather than trying to peel it with a knife, because you're going to waste all your ginger if you do it that way. And that looks pretty good. We need to get a frying pan out at the bottom of the stove.
Excuse me.
Large frying pan.
This one?
Yep. And then we are just going to put a little bit of olive oil in it. Now if you like it spicier, at this time you could add some red chili peppers. Slice them open, dried red chili peppers, slice them open, and just saute them a little bit in the olive oil on low, because you don't want to burn them, and then remove them. Some of the seeds will remain and your soup will be spicy. But for now, I like to turn it on a lower temperature and just kind of grate a little bit of ginger into the frying pan. You don't need a lot. You don't need to make it super gingery. So I probably have maybe about quarter teaspoon, half teaspoon. You know, if it doesn't, you're going to taste your vegetables before you put them in the soup. You can always add a little bit more towards the end or as you're sauteing. We'll do a little bit more. And that's it, I think. Because ginger has a strong flavor. And if you're not used to it.
So we want to definitely use fresh ginger, not the ginger powder.
You can use ginger powder.
Okay.
But you're going to probably put a little bit more in if you're using the ginger powder. Because
Okay.
it's probably not as strong. And then we're going to squeeze a little bit of garlic. Now I buy garlic in a tube because it's just easier. So we're just going to put a little garlic. We just do maybe a teaspoon. And then we chop up our vegetables and we will slowly start adding the vegetables in. So we're going to wipe down the mushrooms with just a moist paper towel.
I'm going to start the bok choy.
Okay.
How are we cutting these here? Like tiny pieces?
Just like you would a cabbage. So we're just wiping our mushrooms. I'm wiping the mushrooms with a damp paper towel. You don't want to get them wet, because if you get them wet, they're not going to cook right. They'll be too soggy. We just kind of give them a gentle rub to get any dirt off. We can saute these mushrooms in a separate pan, in a smaller pan. And we're going to do a lot of bok choy because it's going to cook down. It's definitely going to cook down.
Yeah. And bok choy is so yummy.
Who doesn't like it? It's like a small cabbage. It's an Asian type cabbage. So if you like cabbage, it's a little bit more milder than that.
Okay, we're gonna do all this bok choy, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do it all up.
You'll eat it eventually.
It'll all cook down. You can take leftovers home for the next day. So you can mix with them with some rice and have a second meal tomorrow, another whole different meal tomorrow if you have any leftover vegetables after you're creating your soup.
All right. That looks good.
And that's that. Okay, so we got our broth cooking here.
What am I doing with the mushrooms? Cutting them?
We're going to cut the mushrooms
In
and we're
what,
going
like slices?
in slices, and we're going to saute them.
Now do you take
Take
out
a little
the middle?
olive oil. You can take the stems out or you can do the stems.
So you want to saute these in another pan?
We're going to saute them in another pan for those that don't like mushrooms. There are select few that do not like them, so we will keep them separated. Now we're just going to put a little bit of olive oil in our dish, and the mushrooms will go in there. Bok choy around here. Our broth is heating up nicely. We have a minute left to go on our chicken that's in the oven, and you can cook your chicken the night before, or you can use it off of a roasted chicken from the store and just pick it off and throw it in the soup at the end if you'd like, because it's already pre-cooked. You don't need to we just happen to have chicken in the refrigerator, so we just are cooking it fresh, but you don't have to.
And we're gonna slice the chicken really nice, huh?
And we are going to try to slice the chicken very nicely to lay inside the soup.
All right, I'm gonna put my mushrooms in.
Now the bok choy is cooking, and you can see how far it's already cooked down. It doesn't really, you need quite a bit. It's kind of like spinach. We're going to turn that down a little bit. We're going to cook the mushrooms, and while they're cooking, we're going to
Prepare the shrimp.
It was frozen. We bought the large 31 to 40 count.
Yeah, because you want the shrimp to be big pieces of the soup, right?
Right. It's going to saute the mushrooms. We don't need to have them soggy.
I thought you need to cook mushrooms pretty well.
Not always. There are people that eat raw mushrooms. I personally wouldn't do it, but there are people that do it. And now these, we're just pulling the tail off. Now sometimes when you go into a restaurant, the tails will be on the shrimp in your pho soup. I personally pull them off. I want to enjoy my bowl of soup when it's time. I don't want to be picking shrimp tails off. For those of you who order that type of soup, I like to do everything ahead of time so that at the very end, I only have to assemble my soup, which is very easy to do. It's been a very nice cooking experience.
Yeah?
With you here.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
We'll have to do this again sometime.
Yeah. What can we cook next?
I don't really know.
I heard you make a good coleslaw.
Oh, coleslaw. Coleslaw is a nice
quick
little
and
treat.
easy coleslaw. Right?
Quick and easy coleslaw. It only takes a couple minutes and it's delicious. Absolutely delicious and creamy.
All right. What's going on here? I'm trying to do everything.
We are pretty much, we now need to boil our noodles.
I got the water
The
boiling.
water's boiling, the noodles will get drained, and we will be doing that.
What are we doing with the shrimp?
We're going to cook the shrimp, just warm them through, but we'll put the bok choy in another dish.
Okay, I think the bok choy's done.
There's a bowl up there.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
I thought this is what we make outside.
Yeah, well, we can use this one up here.
I'm just gonna use a little bowl.
And we're gonna put the bok choy in it.
All right.
Our mushrooms look like they're pretty
They're done.
cooked.
We're done.
You can turn all these burners off, well, except the front burner, because we're gonna just warm up our shrimp. I don't really need to cook it, remember, because it's already cooked. Just gonna heat it up a little bit. Mushrooms, we're taking off the stove. We're getting rid of the shrimp.
All right, I'm gonna cut up some of these green onions, just so they're ready.
The green onions, the green onions, the lime, and the sriracha will be the toppings to our
And the bean
broth
sprouts.
soup.
And the bean sprouts.
And bean sprouts, you just throw them in uncooked. Bean sprouts provide quite a bit of fiber. It's been 30 minutes, the noodles get drained, and they will get boiled. The noodles are now softer. They become soft and pliable once you soak them. We turned our broth down. The bok choy's cooked. The mushrooms are cooked. The shrimp is just lukewarming up here on the stove. We're gonna cook our noodles. The chicken is about 6 minutes out. And then we can start assembling our soup. Just waiting for our water to boil for our noodles.
Timing is really important, right?
Well, not really.
Well, yeah,
you can
'cause
make a lot of
everything-
this ahead of time if you need to, and then just
Keep it at room temperature.
right. If you're having guests over, you can, do your vegetables ahead of time, and then you can create a pho bar.
Ooh, that's fun.
That's pretty fun.
All right, we got all our mushrooms in our little dish for our pho bar.
Now putting sriracha, just a little sprinkle on the top, or you can do jalapenos. We'll give it a little bit of a kick for those of you that like a little spice. And those of you that like a lot of spice, remember you can saute those dried chili peppers at the beginning. We're going to put the noodles in the water, and we're going to start to boil them. We're just going to let that bubble a couple minutes. You won't be disappointed with this recipe. You really can't go wrong. Oven's off for the chicken. That should be done.
All right.
We need to the colander in the sink.
Whoa. There you go.
Just let them drain. Now you might want to add a little bit of olive oil to the noodles, only because they might stick together. So olive oil will prevent them from sticking, but you don't want to add too much. I'd say no more than a teaspoon or two. And we're just gonna stir the rice noodles around, get that olive oil to keep them from sticking. Chicken can come out. I personally don't eat chicken, but for those of you that do, it smells incredibly good. There's only 2 of us. I don't usually use all the burners unless we're having company.
assemble our bowls?
We are ready to assemble our bowls.
All right, so I'm gonna make mine first, and then you can make yours.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna put some noodles in my bowl first. I kind of want to have a lot of noodles, right? Do you think I need more than that?
No, it depends how many noodles you like. You can put as many in as you want. But remember, you're having other things too, so you want to leave room in your bowl. Some of these bowls are not, we don't have giant bowls, so.
Okay,
you want to have broth?
I'm gonna do my bok choy next, a little bit. I'm gonna do my shrimp. Are we using the same spoon for everything?
Sure. Not the chicken.
I'm not doing chicken.
The same spoon.
I'm not doing chicken.
Whoever wants chicken will need another spoon.
Alright, that looks good. Do I want mushrooms? Not really. I'm gonna do some bean sprouts. Oh, I think you put those on there.
It's fine.
Okay. And, alright, I'm ready for my broth.
No green onion, no
I'm gonna do
lime.
those after.
Okay. Are you using vegetable broth?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I do it? Okay, you do it. Don't burn my fingers.
No, but the bottom of the bowl is going to get quite hot, so you might want to sit it down somewhere. You're just ladling the broth over top of your pho.
That looks good. Alright, I'm gonna get some green onions, a little bit. I like basil in mine, but we didn't buy any. I'm gonna put some lime juice, and then I'm gonna put some lime juice. Boom. And some sriracha. A little bit. Perfect. All right, that's mine. Are you ready to make yours?
I am.
And I'll leave mine here.
I am.
Go ahead. What are you gonna make in yours?
I first add my noodles, obviously. And like I said, it's a little chilly this morning, a little bit cloudy, so it is a perfect day for some soup here in North Carolina. I'm sure up north it's even colder, so you really want a lot of soup. I'm going to add shrimp, obviously. I don't eat the chicken, so I will have shrimp in mine. I will get another spoon for the mushrooms. And my mushrooms in mine. A little bit of bok choy. I will have a little bit of green onion sprinkled on. Some bean sprouts. Bean sprouts, if you add them at the top, they stay nice and crunchy since they're not cooked. It's that perfect little crunch. I personally like to tear a few spinach leaves just for the extra iron. You never can have too much of that. Sprinkle those on. I add a little salt and pepper. Squeeze a little lime on mine. I'll add my broth and then my sriracha. See, there is no wrong way or right way to make this. You make it your own. You personalize it. That's what makes it fun. Like I said, you can have a party. And of course you don't have to cook the spinach. You can eat raw spinach. Actually cooks in the broth. And then I will do a little swirl of sriracha myself. Oops, don't have it opened all the way. Just a little bit.
Perfect.
So this was really fun cooking with you today.
It was. We didn't fight too much, did we?
I don't think. Maybe just a little bit.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on another episode of Crazy Delicious Cooking. And special thanks to our guest star.
Thanks for having me.
You'll be back?
Sure. We can do some vegetarian dishes maybe next time for those out there watching.
Sounds good. And we'll see you next time.
See you soon.